Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Once again, it is time for my client Alex's vlog. And for those who follow this series, Alex is super busy guy. Kind of funny because I put up a picture of his stuff, like one of his pictures. He had sent a progress picture a number of months ago in a conversation I was having with a bunch of lady friends on Facebook. And all of them agreed, and these are all attractive women. He had the ideal dad bod, which is kind of funny, because people have these ideas, and it's like, no, dude, a lot of grown women, they like a guy who's just nice and thick and muscular, and not fat, right? So again, shirtless, he actually looks pretty good. We're going to do some progress pics for him later, but what do we do for him for my dad bod transformations like this? It's pretty straightforward. I usually do a 3-day push-pull legs, right? And it's basically power building. We'll do pretty heavy squat, bench, and deadlift. Most of them don't do a lot of sets. So most of my dad bod guys, I don't have them do a lot of really heavy stuff. Unless they don't have leg machines, then we'll do more sets of squats. But usually for bench and deadlift, it's like one heavy set. Okay? Squats will do more if they don't have stuff, but if they've got leg presses and leg extensions, everything at a commercial gym, we'll come in and use all that stuff, and we'll do sometimes one top set of squats, depending on how strong they are. I make Alex do 3 sets of squats, you're welcome, because he doesn't have any leg machines in the home gym other than the reverse hyper. Now, I could probably have him do some leg extensions on there later, and we might do some of that. But honestly, not a terrible idea, given that he does do pretty heavy good mornings and his posterior chain's good. But so his main press day, it's real simple. 3 sets of bench, one of them heavy, 2 back off. 3 sets of incline, 3 sets of overhead press. Then we do triceps. Okay. For him, arms are actually a strong point. So stuff like his chest has been a little bit more of a weakness. Historically. So we tend to not do a lot of arm work. So people are like, well, how do you determine how much arm work? Like some of your guys literally do 1 tricep and 1 bicep exercise, and others are doing 2 or more. I have guys who do three different ones. Some of my bodybuilder types, right, who are pursuing serious physiques, who train 4 or 5 days a week. Yeah, we'll do 3 different exercises for those. But guys like him, so look overall, his arm size is pretty good. So in his case, we just don't need a lot of it. We do all the compound movements, and it's like, well, let's come in, do 1 really good isolation for triceps, 1 really good for biceps, maybe 1 for delts, So we put the focus on the bigger movements. So again, it depends upon what's happening with the lifter. Someone who's always been balanced doesn't always need the extra stuff. If someone trained arms, this is why I tell guys, when we get into some of these minimalist programs, don't buy into this skipping arms nonsense. Do your curls. And if you do, you're probably not ever going to be imbalanced. Keeping in mind, we're not looking at bodybuilder balance, because if you're a regular guy, you're not pinning your arms. Context, most bodybuilders shoot their delts and their arms with their gear, not just other oil. So again, there's a lot of fake muscle happening there. So in this case, if you're looking for just normal proportions that most people are gonna like, if you just start doing the curls from day 1, you're probably not going to be imbalanced unless you just have a genetic predisposition. FYI. So we don't need a lot of that. In fact, arms have always been a strong point for him. So the pull day, pretty straightforward, and I may pull these upright rows out. I want to make sure his shoulders are good. I may replace them with some laterals at this point. But pull day, we do one heavy deadlift. We do weighted pull-ups, barbell rows, upright rows, curls, 3 sets of each. And again, I rotate through some of this stuff, right? We rotate through some of this stuff. But think about it. We've got all those basic things covered there. All that basic stuff covered. All right, then we do a set of curls. Notice, though, that we do full range of motion. We keep the wrist cocked back. This is the key to a barbell curl. Okay? You got to come all the way down. Don't cheat. Right? Keep the body English minimal, but you need to come all the way up to the face. But notice he has his wrist cocked back. Why? Takes the stress off the forearm. Stops that forearm pain you get with the straight bar, but we get all the benefits of that supine position. Okay? And it also keeps some tension on the bicep at the top. So when you come all the way up like that, the bicep's still getting work. Very straightforward. All right, squats. He does 3 sets of back squats. We're around that 5 rep range right now on these. So again, he's just over 300 on this for top sets at the moment. At a certain point when he was, we were pushing some stuff a little harder, we have hit a 405 squat for him in the past, FYI. All right, now I'm keeping this stuff a little more upper body dominant and wanting to get that posterior chain done. I'm really trying to push stuff like his chest and back and stuff a little bit more. Areas we want to fill out for him, right? Areas we want to fill out for him. So we do 3 sets of squats, 3 sets of good mornings on his pull day. Then we do lunges and reverse hyperextensions. So again, very, very straightforward, right? Very straightforward with what we do. So notice here, though, that it gives us basically 6 anterior dominant and 6 posterior dominant movements. And again, a lot of times people say, is that enough volume? Yeah, dude, when they're hard sets like this, keep in mind, these good mornings are done with 300 pounds. He's got 300 pounds on the bar for the good mornings. Okay, and then he does reverse hypers. That's a lot of posterior chain. Keep in mind, we do a heavier deadlift earlier in the week. Right, so if you look at it, we got like 6 sets for chest. And then with the overhead press and then the uprights, that's 6 direct work for delts. All those are compound movements, by the way. We do vertical pulls, horizontal pulls, okay? So even if we wanted to count all that pressing and pulling as half sets, we're more than 6 sets for arms on top of it with just the 3 isolations, right? It all adds up, it accumulates. Pick your big movements, and that's the thing I tell people. If we need efficiency and you don't have a lot of time to train, focus on the big movements, right, that cover everything. Sorry, there's an airplane going overhead. I live near a small airport, by the way. It gets loud, and there's a lot of helicopters nearby to a little rescue center. So pick those big movements. Focus on those, and then we fill in the gaps with the other stuff. Now, in his case, we've got real strong posterior chain. He has a reverse hyper. So we can undo whatever concerns we have from the good mornings. So I push good mornings hard for him. We push those good mornings hard. All right. We take them pretty far for a good reason. All right. We take those good mornings pretty far for him. Again, 300 for sets of 10. We're not playing around. But then we have the reverse hyper to decompress everything and to help us recover from that. That's one thing I really do like for my guys who push heavy good mornings. I love it when they have access to a reverse hyper because I feel like I can push the good mornings harder, right? We can push them harder. We can take them to another tier, right? Take them up to the next level. So again, that's pretty much how my Dadbod guys train. I rotate movements, adjust weights as needed based upon what I want to do with them. And we keep it simple and effective, and they all recomposition. All of them recomp while doing this as long as they keep their diet reasonable. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.